Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Kubota Farms here in East Vineland, New Jersey. Thank you all for joining me this Saturday morning. So, we left off with wrapping our grass bales and left them to ferment, and I have fast forwarded a little bit of time, and wouldn't you know it, fermentation has completed on our silage tube. So I think we should go straight to market with it. Prices are actually looking pretty good right now on them. We are looking at, 588 at the biogas plant, 585 at the farm shop north. So I think it would be worth to just sell it straight away. We got a few ways we can go about this. We can either Well, we'll need to unwrap it regardless. So let's do that. Let me see here. So we can cut open the bale with R. We can cut open the bale with R. There it is. Do I just have to do that for each one, I guess? So we'll just cut these open. Excellent. And then this last one here, we didn't have to do, well, yeah, I guess we might as well. So we've got them all cut open. Now at this point we can either I believe the best thing to do is our trailer, I don't think is big enough to hold all of this in bale form. So I think our best option is going to be to grab our front loader and bring it over to our bale storage here, stick it in there, and then take it out loose and take it to market loose in a trailer. I think. I think that's our best option. At least that's what we're going to attempt to do. So I hope everybody had a good week. I hope you're all ready for an even better weekend. It's awesome that we are here Saturday morning. Hopefully the weather's nice where you are. Actually, even if it's not, you know what? Stay indoors, play some Farming Simulator. Enjoy your day. That's what's most important. Enjoy your weekend. We earn it, right? We definitely earn it. I think I can just grab. I think I might have missed. I think I missed it. Let me try that again. Put a big fail stamp on that attempt. Oh, that's a lot of weight. Oh, that's not gonna work. Okay, well, we'll go a little lighter this time. Maybe I can grab these two? That's probably still too much. Can I get a back weight for our little Kubota here? Probably could. Or I could just, well, yeah. Or I could just treat it like I probably should and not carry, 30,000 liters of silage on a small wheel loader. So I have been playing around a little bit with graphic settings. And it's kind of been interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got an NVIDIA graphics card. It's the RTX 3080. And I've just been playing around with it. I've been doing some research on this DLSS, DLAA, DLDSR. It's kind of a little bit, there's a lot to take in with all this stuff. As soon as I think I don't think I'm even going to get these off the ground. As soon as I think I have a little bit of a grip or a handle on these concepts, it seems like it escapes me. You know, I get kind of lost in it again. But I think I'm starting to figure some of it out. And it's kind of interesting to me. First of all, come on, baby, lift up for me. I just need one this time. It's kind of interesting to me, first of all, how many options are out there for adjustments for graphics cards, even with AMD graphics cards. Uh, it's hard to know what's best. It's hard to know what your settings should be. I mean, you can go really simple and basic, and maybe that's the kind of person you are, where it's kind of, maybe with NVIDIA cards, you just use NVIDIA, what is it, GeForce Experience. You tell it to optimize and call it a day, and you're happy with that. Um, for me, though, I get down some rabbit holes, and I start tinkering. And maybe that's the tech in me, but, and it's a deep rabbit hole. I'm not going to lie to you. And yeah, I do have this thing to the boards. It's only 11 miles an hour on this little Kubota, so bear with me here. But I'm curious if any of you have had any experience, any luck with any particular graphic settings that you particularly think are better right now. Now, this is not going to affect you all very much for what you see, just because I record in 1440p. Now I do, at least. And some people refer to it as 2K. It's really not 2K, but that's kind of the slang for it. But I record in 1440p, upload in 1440p. But on my end, I actually am upscaling to 4K using DLSR and the NVIDIA control panel. And then in game, I select that 4K resolution. I'm also using DLSS, which is, I guess, kind of an anti-aliasing, AI anti-aliasing thing that is supposed to do, smooth edges and do a better job than typical TAA anti-aliasing, things like that. But I've also been playing around with DLAA. And then when you start going down all that path, you start to deal with, do you use, I use G-Sync. But do you want to enable VSync with G-Sync? Some sites say absolutely run both VSync and G-Sync. Some people say, no, it's a waste of time. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. In fact, and I make the mistake, by the way, your narrator, so to speak, here, in all of his genius, decides to go down these rabbit holes during the week, and I start around 11 o'clock at night, and before I know it, it's about 1 a.m. Now I'm wound up and got to get up to go to work the next day. So not too brilliant. I need to start saving these things for weekends when I've got, sleep-in time. But yeah, it is how it is. But at the end of the day, it's fun. I don't get stressed out about it. I actually just kind of enjoy figuring these things out. And ultimately, at the end of the day too, I'm not expecting to find some magical setting that is going to, make things so much better, because at least for me, if you can play the game on, what is Farming Simulator? Not all, it doesn't call it Ultra, I don't think, right? It calls it very high. If you can play it on that, the game looks pretty darn good. And then if you can customize some of those settings to even higher draw distances and things like that, you're in pretty good shape, I think. Come on, baby. Let go of it now. I just want you to let go. Am I going to do that? Yeah, we'll do the old drag. But it still doesn't, it's still fun to play around with. And I see it in the forums, and there's a lot of people, and some people really get into this. Like, we're talking scientifically get into this. And what makes it even more challenging, I'll use the word challenging, is it's not universal. You know what I'm saying? You could have all these settings figured out, and then you launch your next game, and you've got a whole different group of settings that you have to worry about, you know. Or you and I could have the same graphics card, but different monitors, different CPUs, different motherboards. Yeah, it almost seems infinite options there. But I'm still messing around with them. Hopefully on your end, things, you know, obviously I don't want things to look bad. I only would want things to look better. I do think, and I speak highly of Giants most of the time. I'm a little bit of a Giants fanboy just because I do love this game. This game is, you know, well, not to sound corny, but you know, it's a big part of my life. I love playing the game. It's super relaxing and fun, and I like recording and doing what we're doing here and having fun playing together, you know, sharing information, that kind of thing. But you get into these technical loopholes or rabbit holes, and I have to remind myself sometimes to not spend more time doing that than playing the game because it's not worth it. You know, just enjoy the game. You know, just enjoy the game. Hopefully, I didn't just lose half my audience from. I don't know. I like talking technical stuff too. Um, kind of a little bit of a nerd when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I know there are others of you out there that are in the same boat as me, that you get nerdy with computer hardware and gaming and stuff. I know console players not so much, you know, because you've got your console, you're set. I'm actually jealous sometimes of that because you don't have to do all the tweaking sometimes that, you know, PC players do. We have the advantage of mods, you have the advantage of simplicity, less overhead. Consoles don't have to run all those background processes, and so they both have their, you know, they both have their plus and minuses. But for me, it'll always be mods that went out for Farming Simulator. I'll always, I think I'll always be a Farming Simulator PC player because of the mods. Now, someday, and I don't know if this will happen, but I could see, would you please? I need to get, and I don't think this is one of those. I don't have, this is not the Albert pack, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, shoot, I've been doing that. I should be doing that all along. I forgot I had the modded spikes on here. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably do, but if you don't, I'll show you here real quick. If we go to mods and we go to this all but Magsy Paladin Stole Easy Forks pack here, all of these things are base game, um, whatever you would call them, you know, bale spikes, pallet forts, etc. But what the mod author has done, he or she has added the ability to use your X key, and when you hit X, it eliminates the collision on the spikes or the forks or whatever it may be that's holding on maybe to a pallet or a bale, and just releases it. the collision goes away, the bale drops, you're good to go. And that's really the whole point behind it, is so that you're not having to drag things like I've been doing and having them, you know, stick to your spikes, or having pallets. Pallets for me have always been really bad. Like, I really have a hard time getting pallets to release sometimes. Um, and this mod is a lifesaver when it comes to that, because you just load up your pallet. When you go to unload it, just hit your X key and it'll just release the pallet. It's a thing of beauty. I'll see if I can show you a little bit better example this time here. So let's say I go up, and I'm just gonna raise it up this time, hit the X key, and boom. The collision is gone from the spikes. You hit the X key again, and they're solid spikes again. Easy peasy. So I did not have a chance really to look very closely at the mods that came out today, Friday. I saw there was a little bit bigger list of mods that came out. In fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, were there at least 2 maps that came out, maybe 3, along with some updates as well. And so I need to go check that out, check out the mods. I did see the one mod that looked kind of interesting to me, was that that lizard Colossus combine harvester. I'm kind of curious about that thing, so I kind of want to take a look at that. But I do want to take a look at some other mods. I'm still super geeked about the TLX 9000 that came out. Oh, so cool. David does such a good job with his mods, and he cares so much about the modding community, about the farming simulator community, and he listens so much to feedback. If you ever get a chance, go to 82 Studios web YouTube site and join him on one of his live streams, his live modding streams. Let me turn this off. And he just constantly asks for feedback and people's opinions on what they want to see on his mods, on his trucks, and everything. And I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool, because I think it, you know, he actually listens to the community and tries to give people what they want. And he seems like a genuinely really nice guy. So I always look forward to his mods, and I always try to, you know, I always do the rating, and it's really important to keep rating mods on ModHub. I think, at least from what I've been told, they don't make much money on ModHub from their mods, but the little they do make is solely based on the amount of ratings they get, and the amount of and the score of the ratings. So it's important for us to go out there. Where are we going, actually? I'm yapping, and I wasn't even thinking about where we're going. Are we going to go to the biogas plant, or are we going to go to that other, let's see, silage? Not a lot of money difference, so we could kind of go anywhere we want. Let's try the biogas plant. We haven't sold anything there before, I don't think. Let's tag it. I think I know where it is. Yeah. Let's run to the biogas plant. We'll give that a shot and see. Hi, piggies. Look like they're enjoying themselves. So I've been having some issues all of a sudden, and I think we started experiencing this, if I'm not mistaken, in our last episode here on Kubota Farms. Some issues with contracts, and contracts disappearing, and I was playing with that for almost an hour before I started recording here, because contracts are getting really squirrely, and I don't know if it's the mod that I'm using. I kind of think it is, but the mod seems to behave pretty well on other maps, so maybe it's the mod plus this map, maybe it's the mod plus another mod conflicting. I don't really know, but the main problem is this where I sell this stuff, or do I sell it? I think this is where we sell it, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But they're disappearing. They'll line up, and I'll show you, because if we sleep till tomorrow, I'll definitely show you. We don't want to use the grain door. We want to use the back. That's what we want. And let's make some money on this silage, for goodness sake. So yeah, I've been using, I think it's better contracts, and I've been having good luck with it. I've used it. Well, I've used it on Elm Creek since it came out, and then I've used it on Buchern with success, and I am almost positive I have been using it on East Vineland since I started the Kubota series, and not had any issues, but all of a sudden issues started. So it might have been something I did too. It seems like I've had this problem kind of before, where if you're using a contracts mod and you disable it, and then you go back into the game with it disabled, and then you re-enable it back in the game, it's like it takes a couple of in-game days for it to kind of figure itself out again, if that makes sense. And I'm thinking maybe that's what I might have done. I might have disabled it to try a different contracts mod. I think I might have switched to contracts plus, if I remember right. And then, oh, did I just... I think my... What are you doing? Brad, what are you doing? Jeez, oh Pete. I made a mess out of that, didn't I? There we go. And I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. I think maybe. So our contracts might be in a bit of a shambles for a couple days, and maybe it'll straighten itself out. I actually broke it so bad earlier that I got in this nasty Lua script error loop. And if you've ever experienced that before, you know your goose is cooked. It's all she wrote. Like, once that Lua script starts to loop, that Lua error starts to loop, your game's done. So, hard crash, task manager, force quit farm sim, and call it a day. But yeah, I broke it pretty good. But we're getting on the spring season. We're in January. Hopefully, I guess we're not actually getting on spring season. I guess we will be getting into spring. And we're going to have a decent amount of work to do on the farm, since we bought an additional field as well, which is pretty cool. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think we'll be hurting for work, and to be fair, I really don't do much with contracts, you know, during the summer months and stuff, when you're busy actually doing your own farm work. It's just kind of nice filler for those later fall, winter months when there's not much else going on. Very nice. Not bad, actually. What does that say? That our, oh yeah, our environmental score is taking a little bit of a boost too. That's good. So where'd we get? 14,000 some odd bucks for that. Our second load. Probably should consider upping our trailer size at some point. May not be the worst idea in the world either. So I'm trying a couple other new things out. I am trying out another mod called the engine start mod, better engine start, something like that, where it gives you a little bit more flexibility on how you want your tractors to operate. As far as do you want your tractors to auto start when you hit the gas pedal, for instance? Do you want your tractor to be able to move or unfold and fold implements without the engine running? It's kind of a cool mod. I'm trying that out. I disabled the additional game settings mod just to try out a couple things. There were some things that were duplicated and I wanted to try that out. I see that my collision camera has gone bye-bye. I missed that. I may have to add a no collision camera mod again, because that kind of drives me crazy. And you'll also notice that, well, or maybe not notice, I noticed because I got super used to it, but with the additional game settings mod, you can turn off the little center reticle, you know, that little circle that's in the middle of the screen. You can turn that off. I kind of missed that, so I might have to go back to it. I also miss the camera smoothing that the additional settings mod added, like inside the cab. I feel like it's a little more jerky now, like you can really see like the jerkiness of it, whereas the additional game settings mod adds some camera smoothing, which I really liked inside and outside the tractor. And it also, I think, had, even when you're outside the vehicle altogether walking, it had a player camera smoothing effect too that you could adjust. And I do miss those. I think those added a nice touch to the game. I'm thinking those are probably things I could do in the dev console, but they were nice to just be able to enable more or less permanently. Do I not have a... I do have a front weight on this tractor. For some reason, I'm feeling a little bit like the tractor is a little squirrely on the front end. Maybe it's just me. Oh, wrong way. Didn't mean to turn her that way. I think I blew that one. Let's get her backed up again. Get it lined up a little bit better. Fact Sheet Fridays came out for the Platinum Edition. Getting some interesting reactions to as we're getting closer to the Platinum Edition. I'm starting to see what seems like a little bit more mixed opinions on it. I think that's bound to happen. I think in particular we're seeing more mixed opinions now because the focus recently has been on marking trees with the spray paint. And I think people that aren't into forestry don't really care, if I'm being honest. But I think if you're like me and you're generally not into the forestry part of Farm Sim, I think it's going to be worth giving the Platinum Pack Forestry a chance. I'm hoping it is. I think there's a possibility that we're going to see some interesting things with forestry in the Platinum Pack. I think there's a good chance or a likelihood that that it might be, I don't know what words I'm looking for, it just might be better than what we're used to. So I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to give Giants the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to say, hey, because I'm definitely going to be buying it. You know, there's no question that I'll be picking up the Platinum Pack. I'm a little iffy on it though, on the whole forestry focus. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little iffy on it. I'm just not that into the lumber aspects, but I'm gonna give it a fair shot. I think it's kind of cool that they're adding forestry contracts. I think that's a neat idea, and I think that will definitely encourage more people to get into the forestry part of the game. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I think I'm most excited about the map. What's it called? Silver Run Forest? I'm mostly excited about the map itself because, of course, there's going to be farming on it, you know, and there's going to be some new production from what it looks like, and of course the equipment, you know, and not necessarily the forestry equipment, but it looks like we're going to be getting some tractors, or I don't know how many, but it looks like we're definitely going to be picking up more than just forestry equipment with this. Plus the forestry equipment kind of looks kind of sweet. That whole grapple thing, that looks kind of cool. We're making a decent amount of money on this, everyone. I think we're gonna walk away with a decent chunk of change for really what I would call not like well, we do get we're gaining $147 extra because of our environmental score. Okay, I didn't catch that the first time. That's cool. But think about it, you know, and that's why, and I think I've mentioned this before, but that's why I always kind of like to go on a new map. Now, I know this isn't necessarily a new map anymore for us, but when I start a new map, I a lot of times gravitate straight to grass work, in particular silage, because it's just it seems like it's one of the fastest ways to make decent money and get money in the bank with not a ton of expensive equipment. Plus, with grass, you get multiple cuttings a year, so you can really take advantage of grass as a crop, so to speak, and animals. You know, I mean, horses need some form of grass. Cows, of course, do. You know, I don't think pigs. You guys don't care about grass, do you? They don't care about grass. Sheep want grass. Chickens don't care about grass. Not the most exciting work in the world. I think if I had to do this over again, if I'm being honest, I probably, in fact, next time, I promise, we will rent or lease a semi and semi-trailer, and we will do this the right way instead of the way I'm doing it right now, because this is kind of slow kind of deal. But I apologize for that if this is not your cup of tea. I don't think I thought it out well enough. I think my brain is on Friday brain, and it'll be refreshed tomorrow, and I'll be thinking a little bit better. Plus, dealing with that whole contracts issue before I started recording didn't help, I don't think, either. So I do like these Kubotas. I really, really do. I don't know. I mean, orange didn't used to be my favorite color. I think growing up, I think blue was always my favorite color. And then I think I had a short spurt of greens being my favorite. Red was never my favorite, but I think I went from blue to green. And then for a short while, I really, really liked, what's it called? Eggplant. You know, kind of a dark, really dark purple. I kind of liked that for a while, but I don't know. For quite a long time now, I've kind of liked orange has kind of been my go-to color, and I like this Kubota orange a lot. That orange and black, it just looks so good. I really like these Kubota tractors. I like the interiors. I like the sounds they make. Giants did a really good job with these. And it's really cool we have them in the game. And that was a DLC. I don't have the season pass, but what was the Kubota pack? Was it $8? $7.99, if I remember right? Yeah, that's money well spent for sure. Yeah, I just really like these Kubota tractors. They're just sharp looking tractors. All right, let's make one more trip. We'll probably call this an episode for Saturday morning. Again, my apologies. I know that it hasn't been the most exciting episode in the world. But I have again enjoyed having you all join me here in East Vineland for a Saturday morning Kubota farm. I think I'm going to do some messing around with the pumps and hoses pack Saturday. I haven't given that as much attention as I wanted to. I started messing around with it last weekend, just on a map that I am not really playing on, but I wanted to mess around with the biogas plant setup, and so I started doing that and just started getting familiar with all the components and things. And I think, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have some fun with the pumps and hoses DLC. Probably do some recording of it too, so maybe plan on seeing that here this weekend as well. And most likely Sunday morning, something along the lines of either back here on East Vineland, or possibly Buchern, or if I don't get the pumps and hoses, play. If I don't get that out Saturday, maybe that'll be Sunday morning. I really honestly haven't decided, but I do know that I want to get some more content out this weekend for y'all, so be looking forward to that. And I do appreciate you once again, as always, joining me here in East Vineland, New Jersey on Kubota Farms. We have made some decent cash. We started, man, we started what, around 30? Oh, did I just kill my... Oh, there we go. We started what, around $36,000, $37,000? We did all right for a kind of non-eventful episode of Kubota Farm. We probably raked in close to $80,000, $90,000. So silage is king for me. For some easy, quick cash, it's hard to beat silage, at least in my opinion. And shoot, even if you don't have a, I mean, you could literally do it if you can mow. If you can mow the grass, and if you can pick it up, and you've got a silage bunker, I mean, that would be the cheapest way to do it. Mow the grass, you know, get a forage wagon, pick it up, dump it in the bunker. I mean, you wouldn't even need a wrapper or a baler. So it's an inexpensive crop to get into, so to speak, and you can make some decent money. So, but hey, thank you all once again for joining me here. You all take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and keep an eye open for some more happenings here on the channel this weekend. But most importantly, stay safe this weekend, enjoy yourself, relax, and I'll see you all real soon.